Live from the Grand Sierra Resort, this is the 2014 U.S. Bar Table Championships, brought to you by CueSports International and by Bad Boys Billiard Productions. Hi again, everybody. This is Ken for the Action Report, and we're going to get underway here with our second match of the day between Mika Immonen and Rory Hendrickson. What a great match we just had between Brandon and Scott. That last rack was worth the price of admission. Just some great safety play there at the beginning of that rack. Neither guy made a mistake, and I'll tell you, Scott made as good an out on a bar table as I think I've seen in many years, and he sure deserved to win that. But that's then. This is now. Mika with the lag, and he will open up here in rack number 1. This is a race to 7. And thanks again, everybody, for being with us. Ooh, that 10 is just sitting right there. I don't know if he can make the billiard or not. I think he called it. He sort of pointed to it. He overdrew it, or it double kissed. I couldn't tell, but Mika was in the way. It might have double kissed, but he sort of got away with it. I think Rory can hit the 1. I don't think he can do much with it. And if you've just joined us, real briefly, I'll tell you again, this is rack your own. It's alternate break. They must rack the 2 and 3 in the corners. The 10 doesn't count on the break in any pocket. It spots immediately. Cue ball fouls only. This is call, ball, and pocket. And you don't have to call obvious shots, but you have to call things like banks and combinations and caroms, etc. And the 3 foul rule is in effect as always. Mika's going to play the billiard on the 10 here. I would bet the farm on that. He might cut the 1 down there too, just to avoid the scratch. That's probably the better choice, but this is in. No way he's going to miss that. And 1-0 for Mika. Rory's break.
Winners or alternate?
Alternate. And just once more, for those of you maybe that just joined us, under the call, ball, and pocket rules here for CSI, if you don't make the ball you've called in the pocket you intended and it goes in elsewhere, it's illegally pocketed. Your opponent has the choice to shoot or make you shoot. And the same applies if you miss the ball you've called and pocket something else. Again, the opponent's option. The only ball that ever would spot would be the 10. Rory with the fatal mistake, scratch on the break, wide open table, ball in hand for Mika. Only thing maybe a little tricky is going to be the 3 to the 4. The 5 lays good to get down there for the 6. And after that, it should be slide a bead or flip a number and rack them up. Mika is one of the truly great players of our generation. He's, I believe he's 41 years old. And this year he did appear for the first time on the ballot for voting for the Billiard Congress of America Hall of Fame. And I happen to know that he came very close. And he was edged out by Jeanette Lee in an extremely close vote. But I would be shocked if we didn't see him being inducted in the next 1 or 2 years. He certainly has the credentials for it. He has world championships in multiple disciplines and a host of international titles. He has every credential necessary for induction. Came up a little short here on the 8-ball. I think it's going to be okay. Just 3 rails probably. And as we thought, the ball in hand off the break is fatal for Rory. It's going to be 2-0 Mika, and Mika breaking in rack 3. I don't know about you guys, but I would not shoot over the magic rack. I know it's probably not going to cause a problem when you hit it firm like that, but I couldn't do it. So 2-0 for Mika, and he's breaking. 106 players entered the 10-ball division here. They're still taking entries for the women's division. They begin play at 5:30 Pacific today. And once I get a final count on the number of ladies entered, I'll pass that along to you. But you can follow the brackets on ctsondemand.com. And you can check out both men's and women's divisions, and also the US Open 1 Pocket, which is going to get underway at 6 p.m. Pacific time today. Really nice cue ball on the break there by Mika. Squatted it nicely, made 2 balls, got a nice look at the 1. The 5-ball passes, as you can clearly see. The only issue here will be he'll have to play a 6-9 combination most likely. And he'll want to just get a little past where that 7-ball is and get the angle to get down there on the short, near the short rail for the combination. And now it's perfect. Come right across middle diamond on the long rail. Bingo. Doesn't want to come too deep. He's going to have to get the cue ball out a little bit because the 6 won't go too far. Perfect. Beautiful break by Mika in this rack has led him to this position. He might be a little straighter in here than he wanted to be, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. You just snap it back. Nice pretty shot there. Slow spin draw, allowed it to take, and just like that, it's 3-0. Rory desperately needs to get a game on the board, and he needs to do it right here. He can't afford to fall behind 4-0 with Mika be breaking in the 5th rack. And he made a ball on the side. Cue ball got kicked up here. And that's kind of a tough break because he hit those really good and really square. He can hit the 1, but I don't think he has a pocket for it. Well, he could play it cross corner, but it's all or nothing. I don't think he can play it twice across and stick the cue ball there for a safety. And the other thing would be to slide it up into the 5 and come across and use the 2 ball as the blocker. Yeah, he played it cross corner. I think he feels pretty comfortable with the lead he has, and that might have had something to do with him playing that shot. I think Rory can make this, but he's going to have to come sharp out of the corner 2 rails. He can't go forward, I don't think, because of this, the 5 and the 6 ball. Maybe he can. No, he couldn't make it. He did play it that way, and that was nicely done. Pretty shot, Rory. Good boy. Oh. Well, when you think you're going to get one, you get bit, because it looks like he kind of, oh, look at this. Wow, surprised that ball went in. I think Rory kind of took the 5 for granted, and he just focused on getting the cue ball out. And I think Rory knows that was a monumental error there. That's going to cost him. Now it's 4-0, and Mika's breaking in rack 5. We'll get our score updated for you just like that. Got Tim and Andy with us again, as always, the best in the business. And giving you all these shots from 4 different camera angles. So let's see if Mika can duplicate that great break he had 2 racks ago. Too many collisions. Rory with a chance here to maybe redeem himself and steal one on Mika's break and maybe start to claw his way back in the match. He's got a 5-10 that he's probably going to wind up playing. Look where the 4 ball is. It's perfect to get on the 5-10, and the 5 doesn't pass the 7. You'd have to play a combination. There's no point in that. I think what he's concerned about here is, how do I get on the 2? He might play the 1 off the cushion off the 3 so he can get the cue ball out. I just can't tell if that's what he's got to do, or he can snap it back. He was able to miss the traffic and do that, and that's nicely done. Just soft and go under the 6 here. Center of the table, but you don't want to come too far, so your cue ball's going towards the 5 off the 4. Look out, look out, look out, Rory. Yeah, see, he was so concerned about staying on the proper side of the 4 ball that affected his speed control. And I'd be surprised if Mika did not play the 5-10. That got away from him big time. I don't know if it... He's smiling over here. He wasn't playing for the 5 in the side. He knows it. Now he's got a problem getting on the 6. He's going to have to take a long shot on the 6. I don't know if he can come in off that 10 and go forward. I think he's going to hit the 10 too full. Maybe he's going to pop it off the 10. Yep. Oh, look at this. Well, you might say Rory got pretty unlucky there, and in a way he did, but he caused this himself with an unforced error by scratching on the 3 ball. Oh, don't scratch again. Oh, God. Well, you know it's not your day when stuff like that happens. Sometimes when you cut yourself and start bleeding, it's hard to stop the flow of the blood. And Mika butchered the position on the 5-10. And he missed the other ball. He missed the 5 on the side. He hooked Rory. You know, sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. When it's your turn to win, you're going to win. And when you can't get out of your own way, you can't get out of your own way. And I just feel bad for Rory because Rory is a very, very, very good pool player. I mean, he's not at Mika's level, but he certainly, you know, can compete. And we just haven't seen him be able to do that. But Mika's feeling good. He's letting the stroke out. And that's a 5-bagger for Mika. 5-0. Races to 7 here. This is true double elimination. It'll be 7 on both sides. And when we get to the finals, the person coming from the 1-loss side will have to win 2 sets to become the champion, and they'll both be races to 7. But that's a few days down the road. When the women begin their 10-ball later this afternoon, they'll be racing to 5 on both sides. So 5-0 for Mika. Rory breaks. Another nice break. That's the same as before. He made the ball in the side, and the cue ball got kicked up table here. And it's just going from bad to worse for poor Rory. I mean, he couldn't hit those a whole lot better. But here's where you really got to call up your intestinal fortitude, so you don't just do something stupid here because you feel like you're out of it. I think he just tapped the cue ball here next to the 9. Let him see the 1. Yeah, that's all you could do. Now if he back cuts it, he's got to fade the 3 ball, and you just don't know what's going to happen, but I'm pretty sure Mika's going to shoot. Rory got a break finally, but the 7 ball does not pass the 9 in this corner pocket here where he's standing right now. So he's going to have to get behind the 7 and shoot it up to the corner where the cue ball is, where he's standing. And doing that from the 6 is going to be a little bit tricky because of the 10 ball. I mean, he could have played in a way where he could make the 5 and go into the 7-9 because the 6 is in front of the pocket, but I don't know that he can do that from this angle now. Might be too risky to try it. Interesting. I wonder what he's got in mind. Maybe he's looking at the playing the carom on the 9. I don't like that because the 7 could get tied up with the 10. I'd almost think about playing the 6 in the corner here and trying to come behind the 10 ball with low right. I don't know if he's thick enough to do that on the 6 though. Not sure he had his mind completely made up on how he was going to play the 7 when he started his run. Now he's forced to play the carom. He should make it. Yeah, the only problem was controlling the 7. If it bounces, he'll have a cross corner. At least he has a pocketable ball here. And if it froze on the rail, it would have made it a lot tougher to bank. Mika's got a two-way shot here if he wants. He could bank the 7 and stick right there, and I think the 10 would block the 7 if he hit it pocket speed, or he's going to slice it. I think he's going to go ahead and cut it. Things are going Mika's way. I mean, that cue ball could have as easily gone in as not, and the 7 could have hung rather than drop. So, again, unfortunately for Rory, he probably didn't plan his route to that 7 ball early enough before he got down and started shooting. Or maybe his plan all the time was to shoot the 9, but it was going to be so hard to control the 7, especially with the 10 ball there. It's just the way the whole match has been since that very first error that Rory made. And Mika's one rack from victory. Balls down, but no full 1 ball. I don't think he'll back cut this one. 3 cue ball going right at the 5 if he does back cut it. Although with a 6-0 lead, you can take a few chances. But the cue ball is going to be real hot if he does try to back cut the 1. He's called it 1 rail, straight back. Not even sure if he's got enough of it. He's probably going to have to, you know, put some left on the 1 from the friction. I think that was more safe than anything, but he left it wide open for Rory. But Rory doesn't have much of an angle here. He's going to have to snatch that cue ball back to about the side pocket, and if he doesn't want to run in to the 7, so this has to go clean. Nice shot, nice shot. That's the best stroke he's put on a ball the whole match. Now he just has to get on the right side of the 4 so he can get on the right side of the 5. Being as close as he is to the 2 and the 2 as close as it is to the pocket, he's got a little room to cheat here if he has to. He didn't quite get there. He's going to have to go forward 1 rail and across, and that's okay. Middle diamond on the other side is the target, but that'll play from there. That's nice. Probably wants to put just a little bit of left on this to minimize the angle on the 7, because the natural path of the cue ball here is up the middle of the table, maybe even a little to the right of the middle of the table as you're looking. Well hit. That's hard to do when you slow stroke it like that. It was well done. Again, you got to smooth stroke this. I think he's going forward maybe for the side. No, he's not. Yeah. High ball. That's nice. Now he's got a little bit of rhythm. Starting to feel the speed a little bit better now. You can tell by the cue ball position. It may be too little too late, but it's nice to see him get through this. Attaboy, Rory. 6-1. Well, the last 2 times Rory broke the balls, he really hit them good and square and made a ball, and the cue ball was coming right back in the middle of the table, and it got kicked back up to the racking end. So let's see if he makes any kind of an adjustment here to maybe prevent that from happening. I kind of think he's going to stay with what he's been doing, because at least he can make a ball. Okay. Well, that's better, cue ball. Needs a bump. Well, he got the bump. The 1 will go, but he's dead straight in on it. So he's going to have to stun it. This is not an easy shot, even on a bar box, given the score and the difficulty of making sure that cue ball either stops or comes back or goes forward a ball. He may just roll it. There may nothing wrong with that either. Let it stay down. No, he came up. I don't know if you could tell, his head came up a little bit there. And that tends to happen when you have to play a shot like that. The 6-7 combination is fairly straight in, so I don't think that's going to give Mika much trouble. And the 5 lays awfully good to get there. And if he gets straight on this combination after he plays it, 1 ball will replace the other, and he'll be just perfect. He'll just want to make sure he has an angle to get to the 8 after he plays the 6 following the combination. That's excellent. He won't hit this very hard. And he did manage to get himself an angle. It's probably going to be shake hands here in a minute or so. Looks like Mika's going to go ahead and take this 7-1. He got a few breaks, but he also played well.